Hey guys, in this video we're going to show you how to assemble our new Honda Mini Trail replica bikes. In this video we're going to show you how to assemble a red one and a blue one. This is exactly how they come. They come on a pallet, so you have obviously some assembly here, and we're going to do a complete step-by-step breakdown on how to actually assemble these bikes. Alright, step one is taking everything out of the box. Right here we have the red bike and the blue bike, and this is every single piece that has been taken out of the box. So this is what you should have laying out. The first step that we're going to do is go ahead and start building the bike. The first piece you want to grab is going to be the frame right here. Alright, the second step that you're going to do is actually mount the forks onto the frame. To do this, you're actually going to take off, you have your bearings, your bearing cover, and your steering stem nuts. And once you have those off, it's pretty simple. Just lift up, put it through, and you put your bearings first, then the dust cover. I'm going to put this first nut in right here. So screw it right in. And then after you put this nut on, you're going to put your washers on, and then you're going to put your final nut. And that's all it takes to put your forks on. Make sure you actually tighten both of these nuts, which I'll do here in a second. Once this one's tight, you're going to do the top one, and then your forks will be on. Okay guys, once you have the forks on, it should look exactly like this. The next thing we're going to do, which is, believe it or not, the easiest thing to do, is going to be put on the actual engine. You're going to have two engine bolts that come with your bike here. You take the nuts off both of them here. Lift your wires up and slide your motor right underneath. Center it up, and then you're going to have two bolts. The shortest one is going to go through the back, right through these bolt holes back there. So to get those in, what you're going to do is push down on the front of the motor and lift the back of the motor up. Once you have the bottom bolt in, we're going to go ahead and do the top bolt. To get the top bolt in, just pull your wires out of the way, and you're simply going to just lift up on the front of the motor here. Now you got both bolts in. Then you're going to just go ahead and get your nuts, stick them on the bolt, and then tighten them down. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is actually put on the triple clamp. What you're going to do is take these bolts out, and this nut, here, put it on just like that, put that nut back on, put these bolts through right here, and make sure you have the washers actually in the top there, not the bottom. And then once you get all this in, just screw it all down, and then you have the triple clamps on. Okay, now that you got the triple clamps on, next thing we're going to do is put on the handlebars. All you got to do is put this little spring in there, put your handlebars in, just put them together like that. You do both sides, and then you're done. Right, now that you have the handlebars on, next thing you're going to do is grab the actual front fender here. And all you have to do is just put the fender up here, and then put the bolts right through it, and just tighten them up, and then you got the front fender on. That's it. The next step is kind of the hardest step, I think, just because it's a little tedious. You have to have a little patience. Basically, you're going to get the headlight assembly, and then you're going to get the key ignition, and you're going to run the wire through here, this hole, and then the key ignition will be sticking out like this. You can try to push it through. It's a little hard. Sometimes if you have like a rubber mallet, it's a little easier. One little hit, and it's through there, and it's going to stay because those little clips are there. Next thing you're going to do, and this is kind of the tedious part, is there's washers right on the back side of this, and you have to kind of pull them out with the bolt. And if they fall in like that, like the little nut on the back side just fell in, you have to take these two screws off here, pull the headlight bucket off, and then actually mount them in. If that happens, then all you have to do is go ahead and get the nut back up here, put this rubber piece in between here, and then you're going to put your bolt and washers right through this hole and attach to the nut, and then your headlight bucket will be assembled. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is actually put the carburetor on the motor. At this point you should have your bike probably on a crate or some sort of stand so that you can put the wheels on in a little bit and just a little easier to work on. You have a carburetor little baggie here, got some bolts, and it's also got the intake gaskets. All you do is you grab the carburetor, you grab the bolts and gaskets, you stick it right here. Once you bolt it down, put your air filter on, and then you have your carburetor installed. Alright, now that you have the carburetor installed, you're actually going to grab this rear tail section here, and these are going to be a little loose right here, the blinkers, so you're going to tighten these up so they look basically like this. And you're going to take these two bolts out right here, you're going to put it right here, put the bolts back through it, and then tighten it up. And the next thing, right after that, is you're going to go ahead and put the kick lever on, right here, and then your shifter lever right on the other side. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put on the front and the rear tire. Basically all you're going to do is take the axle bolt out of the front of the forks here, slide your brakes over, and then you're going to just put the wheel right in between there, put the brakes inside here, your speedo right in here, put the bolt back through, your front tire will be on. Just make sure that the bolt's tight. And we're going to put it on the rear. Basically all you have to do here is just take the axle bolt right out of here. All the guts are already installed right here. All you have to do is put it through right here and then tighten it up, and your rear wheel's on as well. Alright, the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and put the blinkers on. They're going to go on each side right here. You take these bolts out, put them in. Once those are in, and you also have a ground wire here, make sure you put the ground wire through the bolt as well. After that, you're going to take this wiring harness here. The front of it hooks up to everything that's in the front. It's all color coded. All you do is just plug it into the right connector. And then the same thing in the back. You have the tail end of this, which all these lights will connect to. And then right here in the middle, you have another set of wires. This connects to the actual motor. Once you have that hooked up, then your electrical should be done. Alright, now that you have the electrical on, we're actually going to put the exhaust on next. Basically to do that, you're going to grab your exhaust gasket, put it right over top of your exhaust like this, slip it right underneath the motor inside the exhaust hole, and push this plate right up here into the head bolts. Then you're going to put your nuts on. Make sure this is on right here, and then it's actually going to connect with your exhaust back here. Don't tighten your exhaust bolt because this is also your seat bolt. Later on you'll do that. Right after that, you're going to grab this bolt right here. It comes in a little baggie, and you're going to go ahead and install it right there. It's going to be your brake lever. It's actually going to be on the back side, right back here. You're going to install it right there. Connect this right to the back, your brake line, and then your back brake will be installed as well as your exhaust. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is actually install the choke cable, brake cable, clutch cable, and the throttle cable. The throttle cable is going to go right inside this housing. You have to take it apart, put it in the slide, and then just put the housing back together. That one's in. The brake cable, you're going to insert right into this brake down here, and it's going to go all the way up here, connect to this brake lever. You've got your clutch cable. The clutch cable is going to go right in here, and it's going to filter all the way up here to this clutch right here, clutch lever. And then your choke cable is going to connect right here to the bottom of the choke. It's going to wire all the way down to the carburetor and attach it to the actual choke lever on the throttle, on the carburetor. Alright, we've only got a few things left here. You've got the gas tank, which you're going to basically just mount up here. You're going to bolt it down there. Get your seat. You're going to put your bolts right through the seat like that, and your seat will be on. You're going to put on your foot peg bar next. So go right here, mount to these bolts on the bottom of the motor. You have your side ended cover, which will go on the side. You're going to put your chain on, which is going to go right on the other side. And you'll use these chain adjusters to adjust it. And the last thing you've got left is your mirrors, which are going to screw right in the top here. And then you've got your battery, which will go right in here. You don't have to have your battery because your motor and engine will light everything without the battery, but if you don't want to run your motor and still have your lights, then you need your battery. That's it for this installation video.